After Sunday's games, we're now down to just one game remaining in the 2023 NFL season. That means for 30 teams, we're now on to the offseason, and with the Senior Bowl underway and the NFL Combine set to start within a month, there's no better time to drop our second mock draft of the year. Make sure to like and subscribe if you like this type of content, and without further ado, we'll get started with the first pick, where we already have a trade. The New England Patriots are trading up with the Chicago Bears and selecting quarterback Caleb Williams from USC. The Patriots have been in purgatory with Mac Jones over the past few years, but it finally all came tumbling down in 2023. They clearly need a major change at the quarterback position, and trading up for Caleb Williams is the type of move that could rejuvenate an entire franchise. He's viewed as a generational prospect by many scouts and fans, and he could be the missing piece that the Patriots need to get back into contention in the near future. With the second overall pick, the Washington Commanders select quarterback Drake Maye from UNC. The Commanders will be able to get one of the top two quarterbacks in this class, no matter what the Bears decide to do with the first pick. In this scenario, their guy is Drake Maye. He has all of the physical tools necessary to become one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL, but it'll be up to Washington's new coaching staff to actually develop and refine his game. At number 3, the Chicago Bears select wide receiver Marvin Harrison Jr. from Ohio State. Justin Fields may have flashed enough growth to earn himself another year as the starter, so the Bears will instead choose to stockpile picks by trading back and still taking the best overall player in this class in Marvin Harrison Jr. He may very well be the best wide receiver prospect to ever come out of college, and Justin Fields would have no excuses in 2024 with the receiving corps that includes Harrison, DJ Moore, and Cole Kmet. At number 4, the Arizona Cardinals select wide receiver Malik Nabers from LSU. Arizona's offensive line needs help, but it's hard to pass up a talent like Nabers here. He has all of the makings of an NFL difference maker, and he would be the true wide receiver one that the Cardinals have been missing over the past few years. If Marvin Harrison Jr. wasn't in this class, Nabers would be the no-brainer wide receiver one. At number 5, the Los Angeles Chargers select tight end Brock Bowers from Georgia. A new era is underway in Los Angeles with Jim Harbaugh now leading the team, and they need to bring in some players that are going to match the culture that he's trying to build. Brock Bowers is one of the toughest players in this entire class, and he would bring a new dimension to this offense that they haven't had in years. Justin Herbert will finally get the help that he needs if they decide to make this pick on draft night. With the 6th overall pick, the New York Giants select offensive tackle Joe Alt from Notre Dame. The Giants could choose to go with Jaden Daniels here, but after giving Daniel Jones a massive extension last offseason, they'll give him one more year under center. Instead, they'll pick Joe Alt, who may very well be the most pro-ready lineman in this entire class. Picking him would allow them to kick Evan Neal into the inside of the line, which would hopefully help him to not be miserably bad again in 2024. At number 7, the Tennessee Titans select offensive tackle Olu Fashanu from Penn State. Fashanu is the best pass protector in this entire class, and he would be an instant upgrade for the Titans on their offensive line. Having him and Peter Skoronski would give them all the pieces they need to develop into a good unit down the line, which they'll really need if they want Will Levis to develop into their franchise quarterback. At number 8, the Atlanta Falcons select quarterback Jaden Daniels from LSU. This is a dream come true scenario for the Falcons. Daniels won the Heisman Trophy this year and is one of the best dual threat quarterbacks that we've ever seen come out of college in the recent past, and having an offense that features him, Bijan Robinson, Drake London, and Kyle Pitts could be one of the most explosive in the NFL under the right coaching. With the 9th overall pick, the Chicago Bears select edge rusher Jared Verse from Florida State. Trading for Montez Sweat turned out to be an awesome move for the Bears, so now if they draft Jared Verse, their defensive line will be looking really good heading into 2024. He would have been a first rounder if he declared last year, but now with another year of production under his belt, he seems like a worthy top 10 pick to me. At number 10, the New York Jets select wide receiver Rome Odunze from Washington. Odunze's draft stock has skyrocketed this year, and that's going to propel him all the way into the top 10 in this scenario. Aaron Rodgers is set to make his return for the Jets in 2024, and they'd be smart to surround him with some weapons outside of Garrett Wilson if they want to make a real push in the AFC. At number 11, the Minnesota Vikings select defensive tackle Jerzon Newton from Illinois. The main hole on this Vikings roster is on the interior of the defensive line, so with this pick, they'll grab a guy who many consider to be the clear top defensive tackle in this class. He's a great pass rusher and would provide this defensive front with a huge boost in 2024 and beyond. At number 12, the Denver Broncos select edge rusher Dallas Turner from Alabama. The Broncos are going to have to figure out their quarterback situation in free agency if they make this move, but assuming they do, taking Alabama's Dallas Turner would not be a bad idea here. He has the versatility to play as an edge rusher or drop back into coverage as an outside linebacker, and he has a rare mix of strength and speed that would give the Broncos the most dynamic pass rusher that they've had since Bradley Chubb. At number 13, the Las Vegas Raiders select cornerback Kool-Aid McKinstry from Alabama. McKinstry will go as the first cornerback off the board here, in spite of the hype that Terrion Arnold and Nate Wiggins have been getting. Kool-Aid is just a fundamental player who's great in man and press coverage, and that's exactly what the Raiders need on their defense as part of the new Antonio Pierce era in Las Vegas. At number 14, the New Orleans Saints select quarterback Michael Penix Jr. from Washington. Penix has played himself squarely into first-round conversations this year, and the Saints are going to take him with their first pick in this scenario. Derek Carr just simply was not good for them this year, and they can't roll him out as their starter again next year if they want to be competitive. Penix is pro-ready and could be the guy that elevates players like Chris Olave and Alvin Kamara rather than dragging them down. At number 15, the Indianapolis Colts select cornerback Nate Wiggins from Clemson. Wiggins is viewed as the cornerback one by a lot of people for this year's class, and while he wasn't the first guy selected off the board in this scenario, he still ends up being a top 15 pick. He possesses the best athleticism and overall speed out of the top coverage guys in this class, and he would be exactly what this Colts secondary needs to go from below average to good in 2024. With the 16th overall pick, the Seattle Seahawks select edge rusher Laiatu Latu from UCLA. All of the first-round quarterbacks are already off the board, so Seattle will instead choose to build through the trenches by taking Laiatu Latu from UCLA. Latu is arguably the best pass rusher in this entire class and logged a staggering 13 sacks in 2023, so about the only thing that could slow him down is his health concerns. At number 17, the Jacksonville Jaguars select offensive lineman J.C. Latham from Alabama. Latham has the versatility to kick inside and play guard, and that would be perfect for the Jaguars. The interior of their offensive line is a mess right now, and it's especially weak in run blocking, which is exactly where Latham is so dominant. He would help keep Trevor Lawrence upright in the pocket and get Travis Etienne some actual open running lanes this year. At number 18, the Cincinnati Bengals select offensive lineman Talisa Fuaga from Oregon State. The Bengals need to get serious about fixing their offensive line after Joe Burrow suffered yet another season-ending injury in 2023. Fuaga could come in and play on the opposite side of the line from Orlando Brown Jr., and together, those guys should be able to keep Joe Burrow healthy and open up some running lanes for whoever their lead back is next year. At number 19, the Los Angeles Rams select cornerback Terrion Arnold from Alabama. The Rams will take Arnold here to help add some talent to an otherwise underwhelming group of cornerbacks. He's a very smooth athlete and aggressive in run support, so just imagine what Sean McVay will be able to develop him into within the same scheme that helped to make Ahkello Witherspoon look like a superstar last year. At number 20, the Pittsburgh Steelers select cornerback Cooper DeJean from Iowa. The Steelers hit a home run by taking Joey Porter Jr. in last year's draft, but they still need more help if they want to fully shore up their secondary. Cooper DeJean would be a great fit for them. Not only does he already have experience playing in the black and gold, but he also has experience playing all over the field, which would allow Mike Tomlin to use him as the Swiss Army knife for his defense. At number 21, the Miami Dolphins select offensive tackle Amarius Mims from Georgia. Miami's line was good enough to keep Tua from falling apart again this year, but they still need a lot of help. Luckily for them, Amarius Mims is still available with their first pick. He didn't get a ton of playing experience in his time at Georgia, but he has arguably the highest potential and ceiling out of any lineman in this entire class. With the 22nd overall pick, the Philadelphia Eagles select cornerback TJ Tampa from Iowa State. Tampa's talents went a bit unnoticed at Iowa State, but he has truly been one of the best cornerbacks in college football over the past couple of seasons. The Eagles need somebody that they can rely on in their secondary, and there's no reason to think that he won't be able to repeat his success in the NFL. At number 23, the Houston Texans select offensive lineman Troy Fautanu from Washington. Houston has their passing game figured out with CJ Stroud, Nico Collins, and Tank Dell, so now they need to build up the trenches and get a real running game established. They were bottom 5 in the NFL in that area last year, so taking Fautanu would be a good first step in changing that for next season. At number 24, the Dallas Cowboys select cornerback Quinyon Mitchell from Toledo. Mitchell is rising up draft boards really quickly right now with his great performances at the Senior Bowl. He also had a very productive career at Toledo, and after the Cowboys secondary completely melted down and sold in the first round of the playoffs, they'll need to get all the fresh blood they can to turn that unit around. With the 25th pick, the Green Bay Packers are selecting offensive tackle Tyler Guyton from Oklahoma. The Packers are going to be moving on from David Bakhtiari sooner rather than later, and they need to bring in some young talent for the offensive line if they want to keep Jordan Love healthy long term. Guyton has been a steady riser over the course of the season, and many think that his high athletic potential could lead to him being a high-quality starter in the NFL. At number 26, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers select edge rusher Braylon Trice from Washington. Many think that Trice is underrated heading into the draft cycle this year, and in this scenario, the Buccaneers will be able to take advantage of that and grab him with a late first-round pick. He's athletic and has a deep bag of moves to be offensive linemen, and he would pair up nicely with Kalijah Kancey to give them a solid young tandem on the defensive line. At number 27, the Arizona Cardinals select offensive lineman Jordan Morgan from Arizona. Paris Johnson Jr. showed some encouraging signs of development for the Cardinals this year, but it's clear that they still need more talent in the trenches. So, in this scenario, they'll use their second pick in the first round to take an in-state talent in Jordan Morgan, who could have the ability to step in and be a starter on this line on day one. At number 28, the Buffalo Bills select wide receiver Brian Thomas Jr. from LSU. Josh Allen and the Bills once again fell short in 2023, so they need to bring in some serious firepower if they want to get over the hump and make a Super Bowl while their window is still open. Brian Thomas didn't really get the recognition that he deserved at LSU, playing behind Malik Nabers, but he possesses a great mix of size and speed that gives him an insanely high ceiling as a player. At number 29, the Detroit Lions are selecting edge rusher Chop Robinson from Penn State. Aiden Hutchinson is kind of a one-man show on this Lions defensive line, but they could fix that by grabbing Chop Robinson from Penn State. He still has a lot of things to clean up with his game, but he has been a dominant force in college over the past couple of years and could find similar success in the NFL. At number 30, the Baltimore Ravens are selecting defensive lineman Byron Murphy from Texas. Baltimore will have multiple key defensive linemen hitting free agency this offseason, so here they'll take Byron Murphy from Texas. Some people think that he's good enough to be the top defensive tackle in this class, and while that's not fully reflected here, there's no denying that he's a good prospect who could develop into a difference maker within a year or two. At number 31, the San Francisco 49ers select cornerback Kamari Lassiter from Georgia. Lassiter is one of the more underrated prospects in this year's class. He quietly had a great year at Georgia in 2023, and he fits everything about this 49ers defense. He's quick, contributes well in run support, and excels in zone coverage, which could be exactly what the Niners need to keep this defense in tip-top shape after their Super Bowl run. With the 32nd overall pick, the Kansas City Chiefs select wide receiver Troy Franklin from Oregon. Kansas City's wide receivers have been a train wreck for basically the entire season so far, so bringing in a talented rookie should be their top priority in the draft. Troy Franklin plays with a high level of speed and explosiveness that takes the top off of defenses, and as we've seen with Tyreek Hill in the past, Patrick Mahomes loves feeding those downfield threats. And that'll do it for our second mock draft of the year. What picks would you have changed? Let me know down in the comments below. As always, thanks for watching this video, and be sure to like and subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Thanks for tuning in, and until next time, goodbye.